So, families. We've been stuck inside with them for a month. Let's talk about that. Did you see that? That's called an intro video. We've got production value, baby! What's up, you Bible-loving Jesus nerds? Welcome to First Methodist Youth. We are kicking off a new 4-week series on families. What even is a family? Do we know? Have scientists figured that out yet? Or maybe a better question is, what is a normal family? Are those even a thing, or are they like UFOs where we know people who have seen them, but we've never actually experienced them ourselves? Hold on, what? The CIA just released a bunch of photos of UFOs? Why am I just now Okay, so apparently UFOs are real, but normal families, are they? I don't think so. No family is perfect, not even the ones that seem normal on the outside. If you're anything like me, I'm guessing that there has been a time in your life, maybe even this past week, where you have thought, wow, my family is a hot mess, or my family doesn't understand me, or I wish I had a different family. Here's the good news. No matter how not normal or imperfect or messy your family is, God can still use your family to do wildly awesome things. Don't believe me? You will. If you think that your family is bad, wait till you see some of the families we're going to talk about in this series, because yikes. If God can use these families to do great things, trust me, he can use yours too. So actually, pause this video real fast. If you're with your small group, let's talk a bit about your family. So in 30 seconds, just tell us a little bit about your family, including one of the funny ways your family might not be exactly normal. And have you ever wished that you had a different family than the one that you do have? And if so, how? Welcome back. Okay, I went too far. Coming back around. Let's talk about our first hot mess of a family, Adam and Eve. That's right, baby. We're starting in Genesis. Now, I know we all know what Eden was like. I don't think we got to recap the whole thing, right? Everything was great, perfect relationship between others and God. There was no sin, no death. And then Adam and Eve did an oopsie and rebelled against God and doomed the human race. That sin and death, that was a thing. And yes, there were consequences to their actions. They got exiled from the garden. They would live lives marked by sin and suffering. They had to wear clothes now. Stupid clothes, gotta ruin everything. The thing I want to focus on this time is the fact that God doesn't leave them without hope. When he's laying down the law with the serpent, the jerk who kickstarted this whole thing, he says, "Cursed are you above all livestock and all wild animals. You will crawl on your belly, and you will eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, but you will strike his heel." It's a promise that this terrible situation isn't going to last forever, and one day, someone is going to come along who will put an end to it. Spoiler alert, it's Jesus. So hopes are high for Adam and Eve's kids. If you're just reading this story for the first time, you're thinking, hey, maybe they'll be the ones who put everything right and sort this whole thing out. Nope! Cain does a murder against his little brother Abel. And look, I know we've all got problems with our siblings, but dang! And here again, we see God do a weird thing. Given the circumstances, he gives Cain hope. This is Genesis 4:10-12. God said, "What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is calling to me from the ground. From now on, you'll get nothing but curses from this ground. You'll be driven from this ground that has opened its arms to receive the blood of your murdered brother. You'll farm this ground, but it will no longer give you its best. You'll be a homeless wanderer on earth." And Cain said to God, My punishment is too much. I can't take it. You've thrown me off this land, and I can never again face you. I'm a homeless wanderer on earth, and whoever finds me will kill me." So God told him, "Not so. Anyone who kills Cain will pay for it seven times over." God put a mark on Cain to protect him so that no one who met him would kill him. So it's easy to look at these people and think, man, they are never going to get it together. Their story started out with so much hope and promise, and we're like 4 chapters in, and they have already doomed humanity and done some light fratricide. How could God ever redeem this situation? How could he possibly use them for good? And it's not until many chapters later, many chapters later, until we get our answer. See, there's a reason Matthew puts a giant list of names, also called a genealogy, right at the beginning of his book, which is a bold move, by the way, because most people would stop reading that like 2 sentences in. But here we see that the story of Adam's family doesn't end with tragedy. It ends with Jesus. And through him, the whole world is brought back into relationship with God and a new family that can be found in the community of those who follow him. Romans 5:18 through 19 tells us, "But just as one trespass resulted in the condemnation of all people, so also one righteous act resulted in justification and life for all people. For just as through the disobedience of the one, the many were made sinners, so also through the obedience of the one man, Jesus, the many will be made righteous." It reminds us that despite our mistakes, God doesn't give up on us. It reminds us that every family, no matter how imperfect or messy it is, can be used by God for good. Once again, if you're watching this with your small group, pause this video and have a discussion. What does your family have in common with Adam and Eve's family? Hopefully not the fratricide part. What's one way God was good to Adam and Eve's family, and how has God been good to your family? Ready, break! Hello again. In a moment, we're going to throw it back to our small groups, but I want to end by reminding you that there is no such thing as a normal or perfect family. We are all atypical, hey, that's the name of this series, in our own way. But God is calling us to be more than that. Typical families try to solve their problems on their own, or they never solve them at all. God calls us to invite him to take those imperfections, those problems and those struggles, and let him use them for good. Your job isn't to fix your family. That's not in your power or your control. So please don't put that burden on yourself. Instead, your job is to simply be open to whatever God wants to do in and through you for the sake of your family. Your role might be small, but it could have a big impact. Maybe the painful things about your family can't be fixed. Maybe you'll never see that difficult family member change. But your family can be used by God to do good in the world, and it might start with you. So that's it for today's lesson. Hope to see you all soon. Stay safe, stay sane, and wash your hands. Peace!